Hello everyone and welcome back to the dark side of the internet. In today's grim video, we are covering some more terrifying and unsettling videos from the internet. For today's first clip, we have an incredibly dark and worrying video from a YouTube channel that generally uploads simple, non-scary informational videos about spelunking in cave systems and abandoned mines. This video was different, however, and has a high chance of involving something paranormal or not from this world. The channel's name is Exploring Abandoned Mines and Unusual Places. The brave man behind this channel was venturing into an abandoned mine named the Horten Mine back in the summer of 2013. He says via captions on the video that he was entering the mine and he got an instant bad feeling. The cave had a dark energy about it and he felt as if something didn't want him there and was watching him. It doesn't help that while most caves are spooky looking, this one was exceptionally so, with dark metal lining the walls and chains ominously hanging from the ceiling. Of course, these chains are just sitting there lying dormant, since inside the cave there is almost no airflow or wind. Enough talking from me though, I'll let the rest of the clip play so you can see what made this caving experience so utterly terrifying.
Okay, a little further inside the tunnel here, there's still water. You can see it really flowing here in front of me, right here, and this coming out here, out the tunnel. Yeah, this looks pretty sketchy. I'll go a few feet further in and check it out, but I think I'm going to pass on this one. From the overhead, and there's a shot looking down the tunnel, even further, but still pretty wet. And taking a look around here back at the entrance, which is there. Okay, here's a shot looking back towards the entrance. I'm a little bit further in, and looking down the tunnel here. I don't know why that one chain is swinging back there. Don't know if you can see that in the video or not. Yeah, this mine definitely has a very spooky vibe to it. So I'm going to head back out and check out the other stuff that's here. This is just too wet, too muddy. And obviously something is making the chains swing, so.
As you can see in the clip, once he ventures further into the cave, he looks back towards the entrance, and when the camera pans back around, a single row of chains are swinging violently, as if someone tugged on them or walked past them. Keep in mind that none of the other chains were swinging in this corridor, which makes it even more peculiar. The breathing of the already worried man behind the camera grows increasingly loud, and he annotates above the video that he immediately felt the temperature around him in the cave drop, which is actually a common thing for supernatural experiences. Many people who have run-ins with the supernatural often report their feeling like it's a sudden wave of cold or heat around them, so this does tie in with that. Thankfully, he decides to trust his gut and turn around and leave the cave, which just goes to show how terrifying this was for him. As on many other videos for his channel, he goes into some caves that are even darker and more dilapidated, and seems to be totally fine about it. After all, it is his job. The fact that many of the other videos on the channel aren't about paranormal or dark things, or trying to scare the viewer, leads one to believe that this was indeed a very real and organic occurrence, and whatever was in that cave trying to scare him off that day was very real indeed. In keeping with the theme of the outdoors, our next clip comes from a man in Oregon who claims to have been hearing a loud howling or screaming sound emanating from the woods outside of his house. He claims in the video that this has been going on for about 15 to 20 minutes at this point, and shows you what sound he is hearing from the woods.
I'm a couple hundred feet from my house, and you hear it going off in the background right now. Kind of sounds weird. Kind of sounds doggish, hyena-ish, but you can hear it going off in the background right now. It's really kind of strange, just to say the least. It's been going off for about 15-20 minutes so far. I mean, that almost sounds like laughter. It's actually gotten closer since it started. 200 feet, 300 feet from me right now. I don't know what it is or what that is going off right there. You can hear it. I mean, I've seen foxes and coyotes around here for a long time, and I'm not sure why, if foxes and coyotes have been around here that long, why we wouldn't have heard them before. And all of a sudden, since November, things have been just going crazy around our community. I think that was a gunshot. So I really don't know what that was. I'm pretty sure somebody was shooting a .22 or something into the swamp. It's pretty much stopped in the last minute. But I'm just gonna stay and stick it around, seeing if I see anything weird.
The scream definitely sounds like it could just be a coyote or hyena out in the woods. In case you've ever heard those, it does sound very similar. But according to the man in the video, he has been living there for some time and has never heard those sounds before the month of posting this video, where he claims himself that things have been going crazy for his little community in Oregon. The screams grow louder, indicating that whatever it is coming closer to him, and they are eventually followed by gunshots. This leads one to believe that it could just be a small animal like I said earlier, but he also claims that it could be the scream of some sort of cryptid, like Bigfoot for example. Obviously, as always, it is up to you to reach your own conclusions when it comes to videos like this, but I personally think the idea of hearing those screams coming from the middle of the dark woods very late at night would terrify me to my core. Kudos to this man for being brave enough and going outside and eventually walking towards where the sounds were coming from just to film it. For our last clip of the day, we have some more found footage, handheld style horror to feast your eyes upon. The uploader of this video says that on the morning of July 14th, 2011, at around 1:30 a.m., he began to hear noises on his roof. According to him, this has been happening for a couple nights, and he decided to take his camera out and record a video in case he found something strange. This is what happened.
Hear that? Yesterday I heard the same thing, but I didn't want to come out. The camera wasn't charged. I can hear something up there. Hear that? Hear that? Oh my God. Here, gotta climb on them. These are the shingles. Hello? Oh my God!
As the camera goes up to the roof and pans up to the very top, a bald, insanely creepy figure is seen staring back at the camera before scattering away. The uploader claims that this was the Rake Creature, which is a common cryptid found in tall tales around the world, and it is often seen with very long limbs and extremities, and piercing white eyes. It supposedly lurks at the woods at night. I will say that at first this clip really terrified me when I saw it, and if you are scared too right now, it might make you feel better to know that this is actually a clip from an amateur horror movie, which is based around this Rake Creature. Despite knowing that, simply the way that it is shot and the lighting makes it feel very organic and real, and the final reveal of the creature at the end is terrifying and a great payoff. Things don't always have to be real to be scary, and unlike most videos we showcase on this channel, thankfully you have some closure in knowing that this one is staged and set up, and you're not left wondering if things like this are really out there lurking at night. Well, I actually shouldn't go that far. We still don't know if these things are fake or not, and there are plenty of stories and supposed evidence to be found all across the internet that points towards the contrary. But as always, I say it is up for you to decide and come to your own conclusions. So, that about wraps up today's collection of terrifying and downright odd internet videos. If you have made it this far, make sure to comment below which clip got you the most uncomfortable or perhaps the most scared this episode. And also let us know what you think about continuing the series but with themed videos, as it is something we are considering doing in the future if there is a demand for it. As always, stay safe, and thanks for watching.